This past Sunday, we studied the story of doubting Thomas, as found in the book of John, chapter 20. Thomas often gets a bad rap. I mean, we do call him Doubting Thomas, but he's far from the only person who doubted Jesus in the midst of a struggle to believe. Our Bible is full of people who question God, doubt God, struggle with God, and most of them go on to make a huge impact for God's kingdom, like Thomas did. What I think is most interesting about this story is that between the time that the other disciples tell Thomas that they have seen the risen Jesus, and he says he won't believe, and the time when Jesus shows Thomas the wounds that he's asked to see for himself, you can look in John 20, verse 26. The Bible says that Thomas was with them, meaning that Thomas was with the disciples, even after he had declared that unless he saw it for himself, he wouldn't believe Jesus was resurrected. Even after that, Thomas was with them. Thomas could have heard their story about seeing Jesus, not believed them, and then run away. But instead, he chose to stay with them. Was it hard to be with the other disciples while they were so certain and so joyful in their belief? But Thomas didn't run away from them. Thomas was with them. Well, that also means that the disciples let Thomas be with them. In the face of his objections to their story, the other disciples allowed him to be with them. They heard his questions, his doubts, his struggles, and they didn't turn their backs on him. More importantly, Jesus didn't turn his back on Thomas. Jesus met Thomas right in the middle of his struggle, and he promises to never leave us or forsake us, even in our doubt. Thomas was with them. So, if you're Thomas, put yourself in the right places. Surround yourself with people who will point you to the light. And if you're the other disciples, keep shining your light. Be present with those in the struggle. Invite them to struggle with you toward God. Doubt is a part of our faith. It's part of our faith story in the Bible. Doubt is simply the struggle to believe. But faith is committing to that struggle with God. So let's struggle toward God together.